I heard someone say on here, believe the patterns, not the person. And that really hit. And if you are a young girl out there and you start noticing a pattern, but he talks a really good game and promises he'll change or promises he'll never do it again, please, I beg you to believe the pattern, not the person. The pattern doesn't lie, the person will.
I so agree with this message. And I would tweak her words slightly. I would say, trust the pattern of behavior, trust character, and not the words. And so the reason I'm kind of tweaking her, she said, trust the pattern, not the person. Well, I think the person is revealed through their character, right? Is revealed through their patterns of behavior. So that you're seeing the person through the pattern of behavior, through the character, not through the words. The words could be incongruent with the behavior. And when you're in those situations, and I think especially for ladies, when you're in those situations, trust the behavior and the character. Okay? Don't trust him when everything's happy and sweet and everything's good and you're kind of in a problem-free moment. And that's when he respects you and is kind to you and thoughtful and doesn't harm you. Okay, that's great. But what is he like when there's hardship and there's stressors and things aren't going well? How does he treat you then? Right? Does he start demeaning you? Does he start controlling you and is possessive of you? Red flag. That's who he is. That's not that's not, oh, well, he was just struggling or having a hard day. No, that's who he is. That's him being revealed. That's his character being revealed. Trust that. Don't trust when he's, like a wounded puppy and he got his wrist slapped and he's sorry from, how he acted. He was just having a bad day or, comes up with some trauma from the past that explains it. No, I've seen too many cases of that. That's like gaslighting type of stuff, right? So, I kind of want to generalize my statements, but I see this more predominantly with women and misusers, abusers, exploiter, male partners, where, like I said, again, things are good, they're nice, sweet, and respectful, and they make that partner feel so good and so wonderful. But it's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. When things are bad, they flip the script and they're a totally different person. Okay. And again, just the big message I really want to get across here is character is revealed through hardship. When they're under distress and duress and challenge and they get mean, nasty, disrespectful, possessive, controlling, lying, and gaslighting, if that's what they do under those moments, that's truly who they are. And you've got to trust that. Okay? So, and I help folks in these situations all the time. I know it's a process. I know that's difficult. I know me just saying that is difficult to put into practice, especially when most likely that male partner has learned tactics. They've learned how to control you and manipulate you and make you feel a certain way when they're in trouble. Okay, so I know it's a process, and I know it's difficult because you're struggling against tactics that are super stealthy and come out of nowhere. And so that's when you need extra support. And so let me give a couple tips because again, Laura's video I think is really helpful. I know a little bit about the situation. I think they're divorced or getting divorced, and there's some custody battles maybe between her former partner and the kids and all that. So worked a lot with those situations. I know how nasty those situations can get. But if you're in that position, you find yourself in a position like Laura is, that's when you need, I think, a support network, because almost you can't trust your own intuitions in that moment because, again, they're under attack. Your intuitions and your gut, that's what I call it. Your gut is under attack because it's being strategically dismantled, right, by your partner former partner, a strange partner. And so that's when you've got to test your intuition against the wisdom of others who know you and know the situation, and you can rely on their perception. So that's one quick tip. And then I guess, going back to the original statement, trust the character and the pattern of behavior and not the words. All right. Good luck to those who are in those situations. And my heart goes out to Laura and that situation too.